Are you feeling burnt out, lazy, unmotivated, uninspired, or just flat out in a slump? I'm here to tell you that is completely normal, and I've been there many times throughout my journey of owning a small business in the last almost 2.5 years. And in this video, I want to help. I want to share with you my tips, tricks, and things that have helped me in times like this where you're just not feeling it. Hi, if you're new here, my name is Noelle. I am the owner of my small business, Noelle Creates, and my YouTube channel is all things small business related. I post so many videos just like this one, so if you're needing help with anything small business related, make sure to check out my channel. I'm sure you'll find some answers there. Let's just jump into it, but first and foremost, I want to say please excuse my voice throughout this video if it sounds a little bit raspy. I am having some seasonal allergies and I am being attacked by the pollen, okay? Which has quite literally been the inspiration for this video because I have been sneezing nonstop. I'm not feeling motivated to work. I've been doing so many things behind the scenes that have made me a little bit burnt out. And so I thought this was the perfect opportunity to talk to you guys about how I get through this. And I understand that this may not be the case for you. So if you clicked on this video because maybe, for example, sales are down or you're just not really getting any reach or your videos aren't doing good or maybe you're having trouble coming up with new designs or new products, whatever the case may be, this video is going to cover it all. And apart from giving you some ideas for how to change things up and, kind of maybe bring the spark back into your business or yourself or whatever, the core of this video is keep going. So that's what we're going to talk about. Now, the most important thing before anything else is to discover what the root cause is here. What is truly making you feel uninspired, unmotivated, or burnt out? So I'm going to use myself as an example. I am both a small business owner and content creator, and sometimes there are aspects of content creation that make me feel burnt out and unmotivated, and this reflects onto my business, even though it's not necessarily my business's fault that I have to create content. A good example of this is sometimes when I'm pumping out a lot of YouTube videos, editing can take hours for a single video, you guys, and I feel like a lot of people don't really see that part. And so that can really burn me out. It's one of my biggest dislikes when it comes to creating content. I really do not enjoy editing. And unfortunately, sometimes this burnout can spill onto my business and I just don't feel like working whatsoever. Or another good example is sometimes I feel so uninspired when it comes to creating designs and I just feel stuck and uncreative. Or maybe there's just simply things going on in my personal life. And here is why it is so important to identify the true root cause of your burnout. 9 out of 10 times, if there are things going on in your personal life, your business is going to suffer until you fix those things that are going on behind the scenes. And unfortunately, as small business owners, we have all the responsibility. We don't get to just clock into a 9-to-5 job and clock out and leave all that crap at work. It follows us home, and vice versa. Whatever's going on at home, it follows us at work too. So it is super important to address those issues. But if the issue isn't going on in your personal life and it's something specific, like I mentioned earlier, for example, you're having a hard time coming up with new designs or you're burnt out from editing, those are specific aspects that you need to address and problem solve on how to fix it. So here are some ways and solutions that have helped me overcome these difficulties within my small business. The number one thing I recommend is having a hobby outside of your business. And hear me out, I know that's not addressing how to get inspired with creating designs or something specific within your business, but it's so important and vital to have a different hobby outside of just running your business. And the reason why is because one, having other hobbies outside of your business will help you perform better within your business. It gives you time to rejuvenate and refresh and recharge. And believe it or not, sometimes it actually sparks creativity for your business. And an example of this for me is I love going to the park and walking my dog and listening to an audiobook while I do that. And believe it or not, this is so much more productive when it comes to ideas for my business because I see things that inspire me on my walk. And when I'm more relaxed and at peace, ideas come to me more naturally. Another hobby I have outside of my business is doing my own gel nails from home. And even though it takes forever sometimes, it's a hobby that I really enjoy, and it's also a form of self-care, which is extremely important as well. And I highly recommend it because when you're taken care of, your business will be taken care of too. Now let's talk about some ways to problem solve. Circling back to my example of when I have a hard time coming up with different designs for my business. This can be extremely frustrating for me because it feels like sometimes my designs are super forced or lacking, or they don't really go with the vibe of my business and things like that. And so I have to get to the point where I tell myself, okay, enough, it's time to take a break and look for ways to solve this issue. And a great way for me to clean my slate and just kind of be open to new ideas is to get inspiration from other people. I also want to include that this also goes for content creation when I don't know what to post or I don't really have any good video ideas. I also do this too. So I'll turn to things like Pinterest and Etsy and I'll just kind of like scroll through it and see what's trending right now. Or I'll just look up some keywords of designs that I really want to make, but I can't just quite see it in my head yet. So for example, if I'm wanting to make an iced coffee design, I'll just search up iced coffee and just start getting ideas and see things that are related to that. And usually that does the trick, but if I still need a little more help, then I'll turn to Instagram, check out some of the other small business owners' arts to get inspiration. But just always remember there is a big difference between inspiration and plain out copying, which is something we never want to do. Now, looping back to the other example on how editing could take up so much time and it really burns me out. There's a couple different ways to problem solve this. And so for example, the first way for me is if I really need to get this video out and there's no way out of it, I will break it up into sections and take breaks in between so that it doesn't feel like I'm just continuously editing for hours at a time. I also really like to set up a reward system for myself. So sometimes if I've worked really hard throughout the week and this last video, I just really got to push through it, then the next day I might take it off and literally just go shopping and buy myself something that I like, or maybe even order my favorite food or a dessert or something like that, just to reward myself for my hard work. And that really does help me sometimes to get the job done, because I'll just keep telling myself, okay, I'm almost done. I'm going to take tomorrow off. I'm going to go buy me something nice. I just have to finish this last thing. Or honestly, if I really just feel overwhelmed and I really desperately need a break, then I'm going to listen to myself and my body and I will take a break. Not posting one YouTube video is not going to be the end of the world. I used to stress myself out so much about not posting or not showing up to work for a day, and now I never think twice about it. Chances are I'm going to sacrifice the quality of my video and my work because I'm not feeling my 100%. Whereas if I were to just take a break to rejuvenate and refresh and then come back giving my all and putting more quality into the content or my work, whatever the case may be, that's going to be 10 times more worth it than just putting something that's half-assed. Another big problem that a lot of small business owners face, especially when you're just starting out, is what keeps you going when you're not getting any sales or business is slow. So first and foremost, I want to say no matter what is going on, never give up. Just keep showing up. Just keep going. Keep pushing through no matter how hard it gets. I've been in that situation a couple times, and while I did do some things to problem solve, the number one thing that got me through it was I just kept showing up. So I really need to specify that is the most important thing above all else. You just keep going. You keep showing up. It doesn't matter if you don't know what you're doing. Nobody does until they do. Now, the next step is going to be some critical thinking and asking some important questions. And those questions should probably look like this. Am I advertising enough, or am I advertising correctly? Am I reaching my target audience? Did I niche down enough? Does my website and my social media look trustworthy? 90% of the time, the reason you're not getting sales or orders is because you're not properly marketing your product. Sure, there could be other things too, like I mentioned about the website and your social media maybe not being trustworthy or not looking super professional. That's all cosmetic, but it does have some important play in this. But again, 9 out of 10 times, it's going to be your marketing. A lot of small business owners overlook this really important step. How the heck are you going to sell your product if you don't know how to pitch it? A huge mistake that small business owners make is thinking that they can just post consistently and that counts as advertising a product, and it doesn't. And believe me, I've been there, and that's why I did my research on how to properly market a product. I read books, I watched YouTube videos, and now I've got the hang of things. And you can see through these examples of problem solving that I've shared with you guys that my goal has always stayed the same. I just simply changed the plan. If you're taking a road trip and there just happens to be a roadblock in the way, you don't change the destination, you just change the route, and that same thing applies here. When things get hard, you don't just give up. So in addition to problem solving and critical thinking, you have to have the discipline to keep going. In fact, a lot of what keeps you going should be discipline, because a lot of the times you're not motivated. When you're first starting a business, you're mostly running on excitement. Yeah, there's some motivation there to get started, have some sales, things like that. But for the most part, it's excitement. And that eventually does go away, you guys. It's normal. It's not always going to be sunshine and rainbows and happy and exciting. Running a business can be extremely stressful sometimes. So that's why I say, in addition to the problem solving and the critical thinking, the most important thing that you need to have is discipline. Even when you're not getting sales, even when you're feeling uninspired, unmotivated, you just don't want to work, maybe you're lazy, you're not feeling great, you have to just keep showing up. There's no other way around it, guys. If you want to succeed, if you want to have your dream life, have a successful business, be financially free, you have to keep showing up. Running a business is hard. Working a 9 to 5 is hard. Being broke is hard. Pick your heart. And for those who are already into their business, maybe a couple months or a couple years, and you already have a steady flow of income and you're successful and you're able to live comfortably, one of the things that I like to remind myself is how many people would kill to be in this position. And practice gratitude. Be grateful for the life that you're living and the opportunities you've been given. And yes, it's extremely hard and stressful work sometimes, but ask yourself where you would be otherwise. Something else that can be extremely helpful if you have a lot on your plate is to outsource help. And in times where you're feeling uninspired or unmotivated, doing basic things for your business can be really difficult. So now I'm going to share with you guys some really simple and useful tools that can help make your life a lot easier, especially when you don't feel like working. If you haven't heard of Design.com yet, they have so many awesome free tools for you to use, and here are just a couple of them. They have a ton of AI generators for logos, business names, business cards, websites, all those types of things. They also have a ton of social media templates, and let me show you how this can help on a day where you're not feeling really inspired. Being a small business owner oftentimes means being a content creator, so if you don't know what to post or you already have something in mind to post but you kind of want to see it come to life, here's how you can use a social media template from Design.com to make that happen. For example, maybe your small business is having a sale and you need some help advertising that. All you have to do is select a template, type in your keyword, and it's going to prompt you with so many different ideas for you to use. This is such a great hack for those days where you're feeling uninspired or honestly just lazy, because it happens to me too. And if you want to check out Design.com, I will have them linked in the description. And the last thing I want to say that truly kept me going was just trusting in my heart that everything was going to work out for me. Even if I didn't believe it sometimes, I would just keep telling myself that everything is going to work out as long as I just keep going and giving it my all. I've gone through so much on my business journey. You guys know I tell you, because I like to share the good and the bad and the ugly. I never want to pretend like it's something that it's not. It really isn't all, glamorous and how people make it out to be on social media. And that is why it is so vital and important that you don't compare yourself to other people. You quite literally have to mind your own business. What someone else has going on has nothing to do with you. And of course, always be happy for people, wish them well, and cheer them on. But what they have going on is not a reflection of you, and you shouldn't be comparing yourself to them. Your time to shine will come, but you know what's not going to help? Envying other people or constantly comparing yourself to them. So mind your own small business. But I really want you to know that if you took the courage to start your own business, you have the courage to follow through with it. Don't let anything or anyone get in your way, including yourself. That's going to be your biggest enemy, to be completely honest with you. One of my favorite quotes that I actually heard from Megan in Bridesmaids is, "You are your problem, but you are also your solution." So it's totally okay if you're feeling overwhelmed, unmotivated, and uninspired. It happens to every small business owner, and it's going to keep happening. You're gonna go through those phases. It's normal. But you didn't come this far just to come this far. You're gonna figure it out. I believe in you, so get your ass up and get back to work, girl. Chase those dreams, because they don't chase back. And if you made it this far and found this video helpful, please comment a yellow heart. I really hope someone needed to hear this. And if you need help with anything small business, please check out my channel. There are so many educational videos for you guys to learn on there. And make sure you subscribe and turn on your post notifications so you never miss a video. And also make sure to check out my TikTok and Instagram for more content. And I will see you guys in the next one.